Today we want to sort of show you a few of our little loot haul we picked up yesterday at the Beachhead show in Bournemouth. Brilliant show organised by Pete Valinsky of Entoyment Toys and Games. If you haven't checked out his store or anything like that, I'll leave a link in the description below. So, straight off the bat, what did we pick up? Well, Matt, what did you get?
Well, first of all, I think we got a really good bargain on some of this gamer's grass. So, went over to one of them in the show. They were offering a really good deal.
It was Great Escape Games.
Great Escape Games were doing it, and they were doing 7 packs for 25 quid, which is an absolute bargain when you think that they're £4.50 a pack anyway. So I got a few different ones, really focused around doing my Sylvaneth army.
Yeah.
More than anything.
You're doing it for the autumn.
I'm doing it autumn themed. So we've got a lot of oranges, a lot of browns, yellows, and all those kind of autumn colours. So looking at the really looking at sort of the beiges, so the beige coloured tufts, the darker coloured tufts, so the dry tufts, and all of the wild range really. Some green, we still need some green in there, but this one wasn't really for this. Sorry?
This one's for me.
That one's for him. It's the winter one. So looking at all the different bits and pieces that we can do with that. Obviously with all of our stuff, we paint it up, etc. But we want it to look great on the table. And actually, out of all the different tufts that we've used, all of those different types of static grass, we're finding tuff-wise, gamer's grass is the best.
Yeah, they certainly have a wide selection, and they are certainly, the colour depth actually on the tufts and everything else, the materials that they're using seems to be really good, and they do hold together really well.
No, they do, and particularly sort of going in, as I'm doing my Sylvaneth stuff at the moment, I want it really to look quite forestry, and so putting some of the flowers on there that they do as well.
You've also got some of the Luke's APS basing material.
Yeah, absolutely, using the forest ground one, and it's really good stuff. And later on in the channel, I'll go through once I've painted the army, showing all the different bits and pieces. But Luke's APS forest ground basing material is great, and it looks really good for autumn more than anything. Okay, so this was a little bit of a cheeky buy. Typical shiny syndrome.
Shiny syndrome. The lead mountain now goes up, although it's not lead, it's resin.
No, it's resin. It's resin. So looking on to how we're doing our saga stuff. So we've had the other miniatures and bits and pieces before, but yesterday we had a chat with the guy from Mezzers Minis who stock the V&V miniatures range. These are amazing figures.
This actually, I've got to blame Fraser from Von Ketteringham, because he put some of the V&V miniatures, sort of character figures, on his for his Viking army, and I've seen him on some of his old videos, and looking back on his old videos, on seeing the figures there actually at the show, I was blown away. These sculpts are awesome.
These are truly amazing. So doing the saga, obviously you're doing Vikings, I'm doing the Saxons. So just picked up a couple of sample packs at the moment just to see how I get on painting them and what they look like and that. But having a look at the sculpts themselves is amazing. So I got the Anglo-Saxons 2-pack. I got the basic pack with the command. Sorry, that's the command. Yeah, that's the command pack. More of the standard warriors there, and I couldn't resist the priest's pack.
If you can hear the wind and all that and rain battering the windows behind us, the country is under a mass amount of bad weather at the moment. So
the storm has hit.
Right, so what did I pick up? Well, something I've been reading about for a little while, which was from Osprey Little Blue Book series Wargames, Zona Alpha. Really looking forward to this, based on a sort of like a post-apocalyptic, I would say more, if you're into your computer games or anything like that, Escape from Tarkov, I think that's what it's called anyway, so that sort of style of game and that, so really looking forward to that. We've got a load of Spectre miniatures and that, which I think are perfect with that. The other thing we picked up was something I've been after a little while, something for me Flames of War Team Yankee, but also for Star Wars Legion, and that was just a couple of lights here and that there. Yeah. Some escarpments. Again, what I've noticed with the Star Wars Legion, in the bunker that Fantasy Flight Games do, I noticed on a channel I was watching the other day, I think it was War Corgi, I can't remember off the top of my head, he put a load of these escarpments around the bunker, so it looks like it's actually embedded into the ground. So that I thought was ideal for that, and the escarpments will work perfect for that. My shiny syndrome, based on the V&V miniatures, well, I couldn't resist the Warlords pack, and these, so I can get a bit closer for you. These figures, again, is one of each sort of character type. You've got a Saxon in there, you've got Anglo-Dane in there, you've got a Viking and a Norman. And again, with Mel doing the Saxons and that, so there's a figure that she'll have out of there, and I'll take these.
So you're taking one of my priests, I'm having one of the Warlords.
Yeah, and Jamie will probably do the Normans or whatever,
Absolutely.
so those figures will be used. The other ones I picked up, which again I couldn't resist, were these Vikings with chainmail and Dane axes. And again, they will be used for a Hearthguard unit for Saga. And my other Hearthguard unit, again I couldn't resist, was a command unit. I mean, these, if I get a bit closer, they are superb figures. Like Mel said, we will, once they're all painted up, made up and painted up, we will do a proper sort of photograph in the video and show you. Penarth, a couple of weeks ago, if you remember, we were going there, I was picking up some tufts for the Congo figures. Well, bumped into Charlie Foxtrot, which I've seen around at the shows in the UK for quite some time. Didn't realise he'd done as much resin stuff as he does. He does a lot of normal MDF buildings and that, which are fantastic. But I managed to pick up, and funny enough, Leon actually picked some up at, I think it was one of the Plymouth show, or that we went to, or the Midland show recently. But that was a couple of his, oh God, I like hitting it now. I'm going to turn that just on that light around a bit now. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So yeah, picked up a couple of his resin command tents, two of those, some ordinary barrels, and I picked up a baggage set, which again, playing Congo or any sort of Blood and Plunder, that style of game, adventure game, ideal really, you know, you can't go without it. Really sort of sets the sort of scatter terrain, sets the table up really nicely. That was it, that was our loot haul. Like I said, the show was brilliant, really enjoyed it, loads of great games, and I'll see if I can tag some of the little videos I've taken of some of the games that was going on there on the end of this video.
Massive thanks to Pete for making sure that show was a success.
Yeah,
it was fantastic.
massive thanks to Pete, and hopefully at some stage I will get down to Entoyment and actually do a video of his gaming centre, because it is fantastic. It's like an Aladdin's cave. You know, it's worth us travelling the hour and a half to go down there.
It's also one of the most welcoming places that
Very
you can
friendly.
Go to for wargaming. It's fantastic.
If you're in the UK and that, and you're not too far away from Paul and Dorset, take a trip down. Take a trip down. Just go and speak to him. Go and say hello. Look at the gaming centre upstairs, the store downstairs. It's fantastic. All right, so I'll close the video out. I'll leave us. Hopefully, get some videos on the end of this, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
So there's a table all set up for Operation Dragon, south of France, the alternative D-Day, 1944. Just talking to the gentleman here who's set the table up, and most of the sort of terrain here is scratch built, other than the buildings, which are a mixture of Sarissa, Precision and Charlie Foxtrot. He was just saying to me then that he uses the beach and that for other periods and that for like Pacific actions and things like that. When you come round here, there's a lovely submarine. Done a nice job of the submarine and that. And looking through the buildings, little cameos of the firing squad down there, the German firing squad. The rules they'll be using today is bolt action, and it looks like it's sort of father and two sons. They'll put the game on, and that. It's the first time they've got the table out. It's all together, and I think you'll have to agree, it looks pretty smart. Let's just go down some of the figures for you they're using. And this is their write-up for their game that they're using today. So there we are, Operation Dragon, the south of France. Here we are on the Plastic Soldier Company's stand, and they've got a couple of tables set up. One for the Ardennes, they'll watch on the Rhine. Beautiful little setup. It does look cold. Germans, they're assaulting a little village here. Around the table. There we are, and there's that one there. And over here, the Pacific table laid out, using Sarissa's terrain boards by the looks of that, modular terrain boards. And again, it's really, really nice. Something very different. And obviously advertising flyer for their Pacific War battle group book due out this year. And down across the table a little way. Here we are with the battle Group South Wargames Group.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing this for years, haven't you? Yeah.
Okay, we've been hiding away in the attic for the last 20 years.
It's always a pleasure to see this out on the table. It's, really nice, really impressive setups.
I forget how it is, we've forgotten the plans, obviously. So we're looking at the photographs. We think this bit goes in.
A little change doesn't matter, though,
No,
does it?
it's, some of the road systems aren't quite the same as they were. I think, but
Yeah. I remember you guys setting this up for years and that, been following you around and that really good setups and that.
we said we're there tomorrow as well. We're staying in.
Okay, yeah.
So we said we're not putting it up to one day.
No, it's too much work, isn't it? Yeah. It's a beautiful setup. So, I remember seeing this at the Battle Group South show years and years ago. It's really nice. Certainly a lot of detail, a lot of work has gone into it over the years. Very nice sort of Russian front in 20mm. I think rapid fire wheels, if I remember rightly. The guys are just setting up, the looks of it, huge battle area with War Titans, Wargaming Titans, a few knights that are on the table just on the left. Lovely scenery, lovely bit of the storyboard line there. Lovely painted models as well. Really looks spectacular. Absolutely does. Very impressive. So we get down a couple of these at the front here. Wow. Little season, in fact. Yeah.